Hi, and thank you for joining me on this week's Session Spotlight. My name is Matt Murphy, the Government Regional Affairs Director for the Tri-City Regional Chamber of Commerce. Today is the first cutoff date for the 2025 session, which means most bills need to be out of their policy committees. These bills are one step closer to votes on either the Senate or the House floors. In this series, we're going to check out and check up on issues relevant and important to the Tri-Cities region. But before we do, I want to thank the Tire Factory for sponsoring this video series as a policy engagement partner. The first bill on today's agenda is House Bill 1213. This bill expands and clarifies protections for workers in Washington's paid family and medical leave program. It reduces the minimum claim duration from 8 to 4 consecutive hours and allows employees to take between 16 and 18 times their typical work week hours for combined family and medical leave. The new rule also applies to all employers regardless of size. Originally, it applied to businesses with 50 or more employees. It also requires businesses to maintain health benefits for employees on leave and provide employment restoration rights. This is a bill that was going to significantly increase the cost of keeping employees on the payroll, especially for a small business. This bill is scheduled for a public hearing in the House Committee on Appropriations on February 22nd. The next two bills to check out are House Bill 1217 and its companion bill, Senate Bill 5222. This bill has a long and confusing bill title, but it all boils down to rent control. This bill seeks to, and I quote, improve housing stability for tenants through rent controls and protections. In reality, it sets rent increase limits, a 7% annual cap on rent and fee increases for most rentals. It allows for no increases in the first 12 months of tenancy, and it would require additional notice requirements, 180 days advance notice for increases of 3% or more, and additional tenant protections, such as the right to terminate the lease without penalty if the rent increase exceeds the cap. Move-in and security deposit caps would be at 1 month's rent, and late fees are limited to 1.5% of the monthly rent. Landlords must also provide detailed rent increase notices. This is important because it could reduce the amount of rental housing available, disincentivize the creation of new rental housing, and it would increase our housing shortage. House Bill 1217 has been referred to the House Rules Committee, and Senate Bill 5222 recently had an executive hearing in the Senate Committee on Housing. The last bill up for discussion today is House Bill 1334, modifying the annual regular property tax revenue growth limit. The bill seeks to modify property tax revenue growth calculations based on inflation and population growth. It allows taxing districts to increase revenue up to 103% when combining population growth and inflation. This bill would repeal a previous law approved by voters and allows taxing districts to raise property taxes above the 1% cap currently mandated by law. It creates a new cap of 3%. This bill will likely raise costs across the board. This bill recently had a public hearing in the House Committee on Finance. Thank you for joining us, and you can learn more information about these bills and other Tri-City Regional Chamber of Commerce legislative advocacy activities at www.tricityregionalchamber.com.